What is up, YouTube? That's here, bringing you guys the last set of games I have with my Mega Charizard X team. It has been a blast playing with this team, and I've always wanted to make a team based around Charizard X. I'm finally glad I got around to doing it, and I had a lot more fun playing with this team than I probably should have, because it shouldn't work as well as it did. So, we're going to be playing a best of 3 against GG Bro You Lose. His team on the bottom is Mega Gardevoir, Smeargle, Whimsicott, Clefable, Hitmontop, and Amoonguss. Leading off against my Charizard X, Terrakion, Wall, Heatrock, Venusaur, Sunny Day, Togekiss, Choice Scarf, Typhlosion, and Eject Button, Scrafty. This, like I said, is a best of 3. This guy hit me up on Showdown after watching a couple of my games, said he wanted to play a couple games. He might have been testing for Nats or something like that, so I'm just going to play these games. I'm pretty sure this is an alt account of his anyways, so we're going to get right into it and start it off. He leads off today with Whimsicott and Gardevoir. And it's funny that he named his Whimsicott Sheep, because that is actually what me and my group of friends call it. So we just call it Sheep, and I know it kind of looks like it. A lot of people use that nickname for it, but it's funny just to see it actually in game. So we see he traces my Intimidate, which is actually the better ability that I'd rather have him trace. Now, I know that my Venusaur has Chlorophyll, and if he traced my Chlorophyll, I probably wouldn't have activated Sunny Day this turn. So we see him go for a very defensive turn 1, going for that double protect. Gotta have that prankster boost to protect from his Whimsicott. I always think that's kind of funny. I go for the very standard fake out Sunny Day. Now that Sunny Day is on the board, I expect my Venusaur to be the fastest thing on the board. It actually is going to eat the super standard Encore and make me look like a fool this turn. I look like I know nothing about this game, and I eat a Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice is going to be super effective ×4 on my Scrafty, and it's going to chunk my Venusaur. So instead of having the power play in the sun, I lose a Scrafty, and I'm probably forced to switch my Venusaur out. But it's okay, because Typhlosion with a Choice Scarf comes in the sun. I can probably one-shot both these guys with an Eruption or a Heat Wave or any other move that I really want to use this turn. We're going to see my opponent go for the very standard play of protecting and then popping me a priority Tailwind. So my opponent definitely has the power play right now. Gonna critical hit, it's kind of funny, gonna clock the sash, even though critical hit would have one-shotted like 4 or 5 of those things. So we're gonna see forcing the Gardevoir out, even though there's a Tailwind on. We're gonna force out Gardevoir. I don't really know why he switches out to Togekiss this turn, but switching out to Togekiss and activating the fake tears on the Charizard, I don't really know what was up with that. We're gonna see Eruption come in, take out the Whimsicott, and then an Eruption crit one-shot the Togekiss, or sorry, not Togekiss, that's what I use. We're gonna one-shot the Clefable. I don't think I needed the crit. I mean, it's a Typhlosion in the sun using Eruption. So, yeah, pretty much doing a ton of damage. We're also going to see I go for the Dragon Dance, and I didn't Mega Evolve. The reason why I'm not Mega Evolving, I'm going to pause it because I don't want to stutter, and we're gonna talk about why I didn't Mega Evolve. So, you saw that I ate the sharply reduced Special D last turn from the fake tears, and I didn't Mega Evolve because Gardevoir is going to probably be able to fire up a Hyper Voice this turn, and I want to be able to reduce as much damage as I can thanks to my primary fire typing. If I were to Mega Evolve, I would gain the Fire Dragon typing, hitting me for neutral damage, leading to a one-shot on my Charizard. I'd rather not have my Charizard get one-shotted. That's why I didn't Mega Evolve until I have to. Alright, we're going to back into the game. So, we see he goes for the Hitmontop. Gardevoir comes out with a feint here instead of a fake out, and I go for the Flare Blitz. Now, I thought that he'd be faster than me because there's a Tailwind up. I know I have a +1, but there's a Tailwind up, and I wanted to be able to live and then Flare Blitz. And I also just thought the Flare Blitz would KO because it's +1 in the sun. It didn't kill. It doesn't really matter. I kind of just look stupid losing my Charizard to a Hyper Voice. And we are going to finish off the Gardevoir, do a nice bunch of damage to Hitmontop, just in time for Venusaur to come in to soak up the last bit of sunlight and finish off this Hitmontop with an Eruption. Would have been kind of cool to just see him waste time with Wide Guard, but he's not going to play that play. We're going to move on to Game 2 against GG Bro You Lose. So I looked kind of stupid in that last game, not Mega Evolving my Charizard. In this game, I didn't even notice that he switched his team up. He took the Whimsicott out and put in an Amoonguss. And I didn't even notice that. And we're going to see that in this game because I'm like, oh, his sash is on something else. I saw his sash last game. And I'm going to make a really dumb play that would never normally work. Now, we're going to see him go for the Hitmontop Smeargle lead. And I'm like, this is what he should have done last time. But he's not going to, he's going to go for the Hitmontop Smeargle read. And, I said read, didn't I? Hitmontop Smeargle lead and Typhlosion Charizard are going to be my counter to it. I'm deciding to leave with 2 Pokemon that have a higher base speed than Smeargle, and in an attempt to one-shot it before it can put both my Pokemon to sleep. He fake outs my Typhlosion, and he goes for, well, the not focus sash Smeargle, gonna eat a Flare Blitz right off the bat and go down. Now, if there was a focus sash on that Smeargle and he got the Dark Void off, I probably would have lost, but I got lucky. There's no focus sash there. It doesn't look like any of these Pokemon really have a sash, and Landorus is going to come in wearing up a great double Intimidate on most specifically my Charizard. He's going to force my Typhlosion out, going into Togekiss here to potentially block an Earthquake. It really looks like a Wide Guard Earthquake this turn for my opponent. So we see the Wide Guard, right? And I'm expecting, alright, so Earthquake, super standard play. Goes for a Rock Slide instead, makes my Togekiss take a lot more damage than I really should have taken, and we also see the Life Orb onto that Landorus. So Togekiss took free damage, and I'm like, alright, I'd rather save my Charizard. It checks the Gardevoir. I'm going to switch out into Typhlosion. We already know he has Wide Guard on the Hitmontop, so Typhlosion isn't super useful, but it's funny to see a move that doesn't even do half to my Togekiss, like one-shots my Typhlosion. I think that's kind of funny to see. We then see Togekiss activated Citrus Berry, and it got flinched by the Rock Slide. Kind of sad stuff, just in time for me to eat a close combat, which isn't really the biggest deal. So Togekiss got flinched by a Rock Slide. We're even 3 apiece here. Time for Charizard to come out, and I know that my Charizard's going to be faster than this Landorus because I'm Jolly, and Landorus is running a Life Orb set, not a Choice Scarf set. It's going to get one-shotted by the huge Tough Claws, Stabbed, Flare Blitz. Super strong move. It's going to one-shot that Landorus. And just in time for my Togekiss now pops Sunny Day. Now I probably could have popped Air Slash, but I didn't know if it would one-shot, and I would rather have the Sunny Day to give me the full KO over the Mega Gardevoir. Now since there's no Tailwind up, we already know the speed tiering. These next couple turns are going to be a rinse and repeat. We're going to see a Protect, weird play from the Hitmontop, but Follow Me is going to save my Charizard from the close combat damage the Hitmontop can bring, and it's just going to be a 1-2 punch starting on turn 6. Now I want to talk about how I use this team, why I made it, and what team I'm going to be using next week. Now, I really like using this Mega Charizard team. Like I said, I've always wanted to make a team that utilizes the Mega Charizard X version of this team, and I think this is probably the best possible team you're going to get out of it. I mean, there are definite flaws, but you have checks for the top 3 Pokemon. You got checks for Kang, you got checks for other Charizards, you got checks for obviously like Thundurus or Dark Void plays like we have seen here. This team can play standard, it can play gimmicky, it can play it a lot of different ways, and if you're thinking about using a Mega Charizard X team, I would definitely recommend using a couple of the combos that this team has showcased. As for next week, we're going to be working with a team based around Mega Metagross, and normally I like to make teams that are a bit out there, but this team uses a lot of this next week's team with Mega Metagross uses a lot of Pokemon that are mostly considered standard, but in a way that I don't think anyone's ever really, I don't think a way that anyone's really used them. I'm using like Terrakion, I'm using Clefable, I'm using Hydreigon, but I'm using them in sets that make him almost completely different Pokemon, and I hope you guys stick around for next week's games. They're going to be a blast. Thank you for watching my review of Mega Charizard X. Definitely try and work these combos into your own teams, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.